After years of anticipation, the WWE Network finally debuted this past February, on Monday, February 24th, 2014. It was first teased in 2011, once again teased in 2012. We heard nothing about it for a very long time. WWE finally announced it this past January, and I think the first week of 2014. And then, of course, only a month and a half later, the WWE Network finally is launched. I was unable to sign up for that first day or so. I heard a lot of people had problems signing up, and there was streaming issues and stuff like that. And that didn't hinder my excitement in the slightest. I was still very much excited to be signing up for the network. And the beauty of it is that people can give you their login info and you can borrow accounts and stuff like that. A few people did that with me, and I very much appreciated that. And I used their account for a very short period of time before I signed up that Friday. So since then, as I film this, it's early June, and it's been about 3 months, a little over 3 months since I first signed up for the network, a little over 3 months since the network initially launched. And overall, I mean, I think it goes without saying, but the WWE Network is honestly one of the greatest things I've ever had in my possession in terms of wrestling stuff. One of the greatest wrestling inventions ever created. The WWE Network is absolute genius. You can go back and watch old pay-per-views, and especially for someone like me, it can differ from person to person. Someone who's been watching wrestling for the last 30 years can go back and watch a pay-per-view they haven't seen in decades. For someone like me, it gives me the opportunity, seeing how I started watching wrestling in April of 2008, it gives me the opportunity to go back and watch pay-per-views that I've heard so much about, I've heard rave reviews about, go back and watch history, learn about history, learn about the WWE. Not only the WWE, but WCW, ECW, all the other territories that WWE has acquired over the course of its history and has in its video library. So I can go back and watch all that stuff, and it's been great. Since I bought the WWE Network in late February, I've been able to watch a number of pay-per-views, all of which I reviewed right here on the channel. I think the first pay-per-view I ever watched on there, well, in its entirety, was WrestleMania 17, which was awesome. And then since then, I've watched many WrestleMania events, Extreme Rules, One Night Stand, Over the Limit, and many other pay-per-views as well. And I'm extremely excited to continue to watch pay-per-views now that I'm home for the summer and I have some more time on my hands. I can watch some more pay-per-views in their entirety and review them for you right here on the channel. But even still, though, it's not only the pay-per-views that were the selling point for me. It was all the exclusive content, including the WWE Main Event show, which is cool, which has always been there, of course. They debuted that in October of 2012. But now it's a WWE.com or WWE Network exclusive, and it's live, which is cool. So it frees up my Wednesday night so I don't have to sit back and watch it on Thursday morning or whatever. I can just watch it live on Tuesday. That adds to it. There's no spoilers or anything like that. WWE Network, Legends House. Legends House is freaking awesome. If you're not watching Legends House on a weekly basis, you're really missing out. It's not the most exciting show. It's not the most newsworthy show, especially compared to Total Divas, where there's drama left and right all the time. And that's to be expected with, with females on the show, with the entire show consisting of the Divas locker room. That is to be expected. But this show only consists of old guys, elderly gentlemen that used to be WWE legends in the WWE. But that being said, though, it's 10 times more funny than Total Divas is. And I watch Total Divas. I watch them both. But Legends House is hysterical. They don't even have storylines. They just go out and do some stuff. They put them in a house and see how they react to certain stuff. And the storylines just kind of build upon themselves, and it feels more real. And it's very entertaining to watch. And I watch that more often than not live on the network as opposed to Impact. And also airing on Thursday nights is WWE NXT. Now, NXT, I'll probably do a future video on this and how I got into it and how fucking awesome it is. But WWE NXT started out on Sci-Fi, got kicked off the network by, I think, September or October of 2010. It was only on Sci-Fi for a couple months. Got moved to the WWE Network for a couple years, and then just disappeared. Once it was revamped and the Full Sail University crowd in that arena, it was completely revamped, but it was taken off WWE.com. WWE didn't mention it at all. And then you would have to go to different foreign sites in order to watch it, because it still aired internationally, just not in the United States. So you would have to go to different websites to find it. Hulu eventually started featuring it for free, just as of last summer, which is pretty cool. But it still wasn't the same, because Hulu is fucking annoying with all the ads and shit that they have, and you can't put on the ad blocker for Google Chrome, because because it blocks all the ads. It doesn't block all the ads, is what I mean. But nevertheless, I'm digressing here. But even still, when it was finally featured in the WWE Network, Arrival was awesome. TakeOver was awesome. And every episode of NXT since its arrival on the WWE Network has been great. It's one of the best wrestling shows in WWE today, in wrestling right now. It's only an hour long. It's easy to watch. And sometimes it's even more entertaining than Raw and SmackDown. So definitely more entertaining than watching Impact live on Spike TV. So NXT is great. Superstars, no one watches. I mean, I watch it just for the fuck of it, and I review it on my website. But that's always fun, too. Main Event, Legends House, NXT, Superstars, WrestleMania Rewind. I have yet to watch, but I've heard it's very good. Countdown is great. Countdown I always love watching. People like lists. People like counting down the top 10 factions, top 10 superstars, top 10 entrance themes. People like that kind of stuff. Not just wrestling fans. People like lists. So when you do it in video form and include interviews with people from interviews that were conducted years ago when they first thought the network was going to debut, it's cool because they got a lot of footage for these interviews, a lot of stuff to use for these countdown shows, and it's awesome. Countdown is great. What other shows are on the network? Beyond the Ring, through the WWE Network, I've been able to watch a number of documentaries that I have yet to watch yet. Jericho's is on there, Edge's is on there, Triple H's, Mick Foley's, all of which I've seen beforehand. But for those people that didn't buy the DVDs when they came out, the documentary DVDs, now you can watch them on the WWE Network. And of course, they don't feature the matches or anything like that, but you don't need the matches anywhere because you got all the matches. You have all the access to the matches on the WWE Network. So that's pretty cool too. You can watch documentaries. The WWE Network, from what I'm saying, you can pretty much already tell yourself, is amazing. So if you're not signed up for it due to the fact that you can't afford it or something like that, it's only $9.99 a month. Really not a bad deal at all, considering that it's a 6-month commitment. But it's a really good deal, of course. $9.99 is a great deal, especially given all the stuff that they feature on the network. And they'll probably bump up the price at some point, as long as it's not too much. If they bump it up to $12, $13, whatever. Maybe if they bump it up to $15 or $20, that's asking a little much. But that aside, though, the WWE Network is an absolute bargain deal. And if you don't already own it, then you're making yourself, and it's a big mistake if you don't already have it, because it's one of the greatest things I've ever had as a wrestling fan, one of the greatest things that WWE has ever invented, so to speak. And of course, how can I forget this? The live WWE pay-per-views. Not only do you have access to the past pay-per-views, but you also have access to the current pay-per-views, so you don't have to go on any shitty live stream websites or wait until 30 days until afterwards to find it on demand or whatever the hell else. You don't have to pay fucking $50 a month, especially if the pay-per-view is shitty. If you're paying $9.99 a month for the WWE Network and you get all that great stuff and a live pay-per-view thrown in, that's a pretty fucking awesome deal, especially when the pay-per-view is WrestleMania. And I got great quality on that. The live streaming issues when they first launched it were not that great. For the on-demand content, even the live stream, it was a bit shitty. I heard some people having problems with it. But since then, personally, and it does differ based on your internet connection. Sometimes at my college campus, the internet connection would suck, and I would not be able to get clear HD quality for a lot of the content. But now that I'm home, my internet's a lot better. It has been a lot better to watch live, the on-demand content, the pay-per-views live, the live streaming, whatever. The content's been great. The quality's been great. The streaming's been fine. So that's not even an issue. Some people have had some issues here and there, but that's no longer an issue. And there are some stuff that they need to add over time, like some people are calling for Clash of the Champions, which they finally added. Saturday Night Main Event, which they probably will add over time. But as it stands, all the stuff that they have on there right now is great. And they have over 1,000 hours of video content from pay-per-views to old Raws and SmackDowns and stuff like that. Based on, coming from someone who started watching WWE in 2008, I would like to see some more Raws from the last 5 years, and even the Attitude Era stuff too, when they have added that stuff. But it is cool that they have every live Raw. They've had every episode of Raw from, I think, late 2012 to now. Every episode of Raw in 2012, 2013, and 2014 has since been added to the network, which is really, really cool. So if you want to go back and watch Brock Lesnar's debut or re-debut in the WWE in 2012, or CM Punk turning heel, or whatever else has happened in the last 2 years, you can go back and watch that stuff too, in its entirety, and it's awesome. So basically, in a nutshell, like I've said this before, I'll keep stressing this, but the WWE Network is great. And if you don't own it, you're making a big mistake. It's a bargain deal with everything that's included on the network. Love watching it. Don't consume all your time watching, because then you'll get bored with it after a while. I don't watch it all the time, but I do watch it when I can. At least maybe like once a day I'm watching something on there, whether it's part of a pay-per-view or a live show that they have on there. But it is great in small doses. I'm not saying like completely shut out your outside personal life to watch the WWE Network. But when you're home doing whatever and you got nothing to do and you're free, you got some free time, throw on an old pay-per-view. Go watch something you haven't seen in years or something you've never watched before. It's a great deal. So even 3.5 months later, I think the WWE Network is even gradually getting better. Some people had some complaints in the beginning, but in the last 3 months, the last 3.5 months, I've absolutely loved it. Greatest thing ever. And I've recommended to a lot of people, my friends, some family members that used to be wrestling fans. I've recommended to them because they were talking about the biggest selling point, just not even for current wrestling fans, but for older wrestling fans and former fans, is that if you sign up for the network, you get access to all this different footage from the 80s and the late 70s and stuff like that. That's the kind of stuff that the older fans want to see. So that's cool that they have that on the network too. It's a big selling point for current fans, former fans, for anyone looking to get into wrestling. They might not want to pay $10 a month to do that, but it is a great deal for all the stuff that's included in the package. So basically, like I said before, the last 3.5 months with the WWE Network have been great. I'm looking forward to all the stuff they continue to add to the network in coming months. And as I said before, sign up for the network if you haven't already. And if you already signed up for the network, enjoy it as much as I am. I hope you are enjoying it as much as I am, because it's a great deal. It's a great thing. And kudos to WWE for finally putting it together after 3 years of waiting from us fans, and even much, much more, because it's been rumored for such a long time. But that being said, guys, thanks for watching. Always appreciated. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. All support is greatly appreciated, like I said before. And I'll be back next week with another video blog. And until then, guys, this is Graham Jason Matthews, and I'll catch you guys down the road.